All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Hang on a second. I think, let's see. Yeah, everything is looking good. All right. We're live. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name's Odum, and we're plugging away every single day. We're trying to make that $1 million, build that $1 million company. And, excuse me. And of course, we're working on Pixel Pieces, which is our Webflow template and component library. And we're going to kind of maybe carry on from where we were on Friday, which was building some form elements. And if we can get a little further, maybe we might build some other components. But I got about an hour and a half with you guys today before I have to turn into a pumpkin and take off here. I do apologize. I'm hearing actually a really bad echo. I don't know if you guys are hearing this too, but I'm trying to figure out this whole office layout thing and trying to get this studio, which is basically it's just a small den with no windows. Pretty small. I don't even know what the square footage is. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best setup for me to be able to do these live streams every day, but also to start creating these videos for Pixel, which are the educational type videos of teaching you guys stuff that I know about Webflow, about web design, and all that fun stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make it so that I can sit down, press record, and have things super easy, super streamlined to do. So that's what I'm working on. So bear with me as I try to figure out this space. It's probably going to take a little while longer to get things going. But anyways, with all that being said, let's just jump right in. And I even switched my monitors as well too, so I can't really see what's going on. So I have to figure out how I'm going to work with that. But anyways, it looks like, yeah, screen sharing good. All right. So we are just right here in our Webflow space. And what we did the other day, Kevin, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness, can't see things. This is really brutal. I got to fix this. How was your weekend? You have a good time? Get some good runs in, hopefully. The weather was nice here for going out for a run, although I didn't go for a run per se. Just playing hockey. But Andrea did a couple runs this week. Well, this weekend, I should say. I think she did 16 kilometers yesterday, which is pretty cool. Anyways, hope you had a good weekend and ready to get some good work done. All right. So let's take a look at where we left off. Yeah, so we were building forms for Pixel Pieces. And I think if we look at what we have here for in our Figma, I need to zoom in on this one. It's a control mouse wheel. So we do have a few different options here that we have for subscribe forms with first name, last name, email, first name, email only, and just the email address only. I think people have, depending on how people are setting up their MailChimp or Constant Contact or ConvertKit, whatever, they want to have different fields. So I guess we're going to have all of them available. So I think what we did yesterday or Friday was have the first name and email. So now we just got to do them all again with just some first name, last name, and then also with just the email. Great run yesterday. Awesome. First time in months with no gloves or hat since it was nice out. Yeah. Went over the Bayonne Bridge and back. Great views. Cool. Right on. Don't know what that is, but it sounds nice. Always good. I just love, as much as I'd love to live in a place that's just warm all year round, there's something awesome about going from winter to spring and then the weather's kind of warming up. You just feel that rejuvenation from being like not locked indoors, but just being really, really cold over the winter time. So it's really cool to see. Awesome. Rolando, welcome. Good morning. Yes, transmitting early today. Thanks for your comments. I'll start working on it today. And yes, you hear the echo as well too? Yeah, that's annoying because I could hear it in my headphones. So, because I took out the furniture that was in here, just like cloth furniture, and there's like nothing left in this room except for like that bookshelf back and the piano and the fake plant. Bear with me. Sorry. There's not much I can say. Just kind of bear with me. So we'll try to get this thing sorted out some point. It's tough too because yeah, I don't know. I was like, I have money to spend on setting up a studio, but I'm so adverse to spending money as well. But I don't know exactly how to set up this office in this space for good recording. Good recordings. But yeah, I'm glad you got those comments. And again, I said in the email, like, I'm sorry it took actually so long to get it to you. It just, at the end of the week, everything just got really, really busy with a bunch of client stuff that kind of came in. And I wanted to do it just to sit down and really kind of think about your site. So yeah, and I'll just say too here, while you're here, is I just think of real estate and how saying a lot of like the way people buy real estate, it seems to be like it's dislodged from logic, and people get really emotional when it comes to properties, which is one thing where you get lots of crazy speculation and like housing prices just being decoupled from reality. So if you can hit home on a real estate site where you're not so much just listing off the specifications of what you can do as a real estate agency or group or what have you, or as a realtor, I could do this. There's like, who cares? There's like a million people that can do that. But if you can sell me the dream on finding me that dream home, that house that I've always wanted, the place where I can raise my kids and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, and you sell the dream as opposed to, the features or whatever, I think that could hit home really, really good. Yeah, cool. Yeah, don't understand that we're all busy and that what we do is good faith according to our opportunities. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, but again, I was saying overall, you're heading in the really right direction with the design. So good stuff. Okay, so let's get going. One thing too, I just want to say quick thank you to all the new subscribers that I've obviously for everyone that's subscribed, but we're 2 subscribers shy of 400, which is really cool. So thank you, thank you to everyone. Appreciate the support. Okay, so components, right? And this time too, I think in this episode, we'll try to go through the whole process of building the components and then using the clipboard tool to get the JSON code, putting it in, and then publishing it live. So we can kind of see the full flow of building a component and then making it available to everyone. All right. So I think we're going to just take a look at, yeah, these are the same, except they're just made, one's vertical, one's horizontal. Again, not a fan of doing that, but if that's what people want, then go for it, because it's kind of the same thing. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to copy this one, and we're going to go to our trusty cut and paste thing. By thing, I just mean this is another project where we can cut and paste things without having to worry about getting some CSS styles duplicated. All right, close that and paste. Okay, so now we can go ahead and rename this the form 5 into form 7. Form 7. Save those changes. Oh, let me zoom in a little bit. Should be a little bit better for you guys. Rename. Form 6. And let's go into the settings. This is what's really annoying with the forms, is you have to change everything within the form itself. Form 6 name. Just the little details you want to make sure that we get right. Oh, did I put 6? Yeah, 7 actually. 7, and then the form itself. Yeah, I did rename this 6. Just thinking in number order. Okay, form 7. And yeah, the only thing with doing this is when I copy and paste, all the variables get unlinked, which is kind of annoying. So we have to relink them. No, let's go to form 5. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let's do form 6. And let's duplicate this, and we'll call it form 7. Pixel pieces dash form 7. and create. Okay, and go in here, delete, and paste. All right. Button, and then control enter is form submit. All right. I was thinking about what you were saying a moment ago about content creation. If you allow me to recommend, yes, I will allow, absolutely. Make one element or component per day following a script, for example, team member card. Yeah, I really like that idea of, just sticking to a script or just doing one a day. The one thing that I'll say, there's a couple things that I know are going to be an issue. So the first one is the fact that within Webflow, like I said, we're going to be hard limited to 150 static pages. That's the max you can have in Webflow, which means outside of the pricing page, the home page, the about page, a couple of the other, like the components and templates. Aside from that, then we're only going to be able to have about 140 individual components, because each component is housed on an individual Webflow page, like a static page. So if I did one a day, I'm soon going to get filled up where I'm not going to be able to do anymore. That being said, I can still make them like in Figma or whatever and just kind of keep designing and be ready to go. So what my plan is hopefully get to that maximum point of 140 components that I can do. And then it's going to be focusing 100% on the marketing efforts of trying to get customers to Pixel Pieces and trying to grow in that way. And then once I get to the point where I've brought in a certain amount of money, I don't know what that money amount is going to be, then I'm going to invest in bringing somebody else on and developing a whole new backend system where we can have an unlimited amount of components and we can just keep building. And then we'll have it. But I'll do you probably one better where it's going to be like, okay, I want to make like 5 components a day or something like that, and just really ramp up the production of the number of components. But yeah, sticking to an actual schedule, I think is a fantastic idea. And then, yeah, we can follow a script too in terms of what, we go through the hierarchy of, which components that we have. But I also would love to make it more interactive by people, that are members of Pixel. They can vote on it, or they can have suggestions or whatever. Just make it more interactive, engaging with the community. Yeah. Oh, and I think what you're saying here, we put the title, then label H3, then the position as paragraph, etc. Give it the format. Yeah, I think you're talking about here in terms of making it formal in terms of the process of creating the components. Yeah, I like that. I like that as well too. Okay, and then you could cut that content upload as a video with the exact title. A pre-cut video of introducing the video and what you're going to do. I see. Even thinking about almost productizing the actual video. So like you're making the product, you're making the component, then you're making the video as well, and then you can cut and paste that into multiple avenues as well too. It could go on, TikTok or YouTube Short and all that kind of stuff, which would be really cool too. So I like that. That's a really good idea. I just need to figure out exactly how to. Yeah, no, I really like that. No, it's a really good suggestion. The only question is exactly how we're going to do that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to figure that out like right now, but I like it. No, thanks for that. That's really good. Yeah, I need to have some way to. I don't want to say I want to bring consistency to this live stream, but a certain amount of predictability as to what we're going to be talking about when, so people can tune into the things that they want to tune into, maybe skip the things that aren't so interesting to them. Yeah, and just have more of a, bring a kind of a format to it, I think is what kind of what I'm hearing, which I think is really good. Yeah. It's just a question of how are we going to do that? Yeah, I like it. Okay. Yeah, it's doing 2 things at once. Exactly. Like you're doing the video, then you're also creating educational content, and it's even 3 things at once. Then I'm also growing the product and building the product, which is fantastic. And it's kind of how I think about this live stream right now. It's like I'm doing two things at once per se. It's like number one, I'm building the actual product. And number two, I'm building the audience by going live stream every day and slowly but surely, picking up new subscribers and new followers and stuff. So yeah, and it's like, can we even do more? Can we do three birds with one stone, and create different types of video content that we can publish on different social media platforms and stuff like that. And then cut it up again too into, these educational kind of pieces. Like, okay, we're going to work, from this time to this time, we're going to work on just building this thing. And then I could edit that after the fact, make it cleaner, tighten it up or whatever, take out all the, the bumps and bruises, I guess you'd get when you're doing something live. Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. These are like fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic ideas. Okay. So we got our form 7 here. There's a few things that we need to update. So we need to update the colors here. The reason this is not relevant at all to you guys, like when you're going to use these components to cut and paste, like it's not going to matter, because when you cut and paste it, it breaks it away from the actual variable. But for me, I want to put it in here because when I update a color in the style guide or into the variables here, one of these, it'll update every component, right? So I want to make sure that I keep that consistency. So yeah. Oop. I'd offer to help you with the subtitles in Spanish so that you can reach a Latin American audience. That is, no, of course. If it was something like that, we get to that point where we're translating, I would for sure pay you. I would not get you work for free. But that being said, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And that is something that is, it's just such a super smart thing to do. You think of all the YouTube channels that are English speaking, as an example. I just use that because, I'm English speaking. And they have millions of followers, but they're just in English. So, I mean, Mr. Beast done this, so this is nothing new. You just take your videos in English and you translate them to different languages, and you have millions and millions of people that you have a brand new audience. Like, it's crazy and it's insane. So yeah, to be able to reach a wider audience is amazing. And there's like you double the amount of people you can reach because so many people don't speak English, right? So in different languages. So I really appreciate that. And I guarantee you 100% we'll touch base at some point in the future with that because it's super important and something that is on my pipeline. But again, we got to get popular. We got to get like people actually using pixel pieces, and it's got to be, a business that's going to be successful. And then we could start figuring out how we can grow the whole thing and keep going. So, yeah, we can exchange support. You help me with comments. Yeah. Well, I know, but that was my pleasure. And it wasn't, like, I would imagine doing subtitling for videos could end up being pretty time consuming. So, but yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. What were we doing here? Yes, we're changing the colors. So color here. Oh yeah, that's good because it's been done on all those ones. And then the button is still good. Yeah, because I relabeled it. Okay. So the only thing is the form label. 0F0. What color is that? I think that's neutral. 900. There we go. Okay, so that's good. And which one are we going to? We'll do the one that has the first name, last name. Copy and paste that one. Okay. So this will be first name and last name. So why I like doing the three, the first name, last name, and email address, because I like when I'm doing things in my marketing campaigns to be able to say, to be able to distinguish whether I want to reach out to the person with the first name or just their last name or their full name. So being able to separate that is nice. If you just ask for a name, then it's a lot trickier to be like, hey, Mike, or whatever, the name is on when you're sending out an email. So, and if you have no name at all, then it's just like, hi friend, comma, which is fine too. So it all depends on kind of what you like and kind of what your style is. Okay, so let's update this one. Your first name and form. This should say first name. Okay, your last name. Form, yeah, last name. Okay. So now we need to update the grid here. So this needs to be a 3-column grid, I do believe, or sorry, a 4-column grid. Let's add another one. We want to make sure the subscribe button, yeah, okay, doesn't get squished too badly. Okay, so that's good. And then when we go to tablet, I think that's still good on tablet mode. I think then when we're on phone, yeah, that's when we just go here, which is already styled. Nice. That's good. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Okay. So that's how we do that form. Let's do one more, and then we'll use and we'll clipboard everything up and publish it. Actually, we do. Should we do? Let's go. Hang on a second. Let's look at the forms. Oh yeah, form 5 and 6. I'm just trying to think if we should keep them in order. Like 5 and 6 is, one's the vertical, one's the horizontal. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So 6 and 7, 7 is the horizontal, and then 8 will be the vertical. Yeah, let's do that. So let's delete that. So where are we? Let's go back to here. I think we'll just copy this. Yeah, I think everything's good with that one. All right. Remove those styles. And then we will paste this in. Oh, this is interesting. It's not covering up the full width. This should be the full width, but maybe if we play it. Yeah, there's always a thing with the display. I don't know what's with. Yeah, it's really weird. When you have a 4 grid, yeah, see, it's crashing. Yeah, within Webflow, I don't know. You have a 4 grid thing. It doesn't go full width. It's really, really weird. I don't know why it does that. Or at least it does for me. I don't know if it's because I'm using a Brave and I'm not using Chrome. It could be something to do with that. All right. Form 8. Okay. Copy that. And then, oh, we need to actually. Oh, excuse me. We need to actually copy a page here. Let's go form 8. All right. Not pixel, pixel. Okay. Yep. Create. Delete and paste. All right. Control Enter. Delete all that stuff. Control Enter. Is form submit. And then, oh my goodness. I already drank like 1.5 liters of water this morning. Okay. So the only difference with this one is everything is going to be a one column. And I think we also want to edit. I think the spacing is different. Let's take a look at, or no, maybe it is the same. Let's take a look at form 6, which will be, yeah, what did I do here? Because we want to be consistent, right? Look at the form 6 grid. Yeah, we did 1 instead of 0.5 for this one. Yeah, because I think if, yeah, I think because if we're going to have it like this, if someone's going to use this form and they want to use it, you know, it's full screen now or full width now, but it's going to respond to whatever container the user puts it in. But I think giving it a little bit more vertical space in between, I think that's a little bit better than having it too close. Yeah, I like that better. Nothing better than tequila to clear. Yeah, except the only problem is that it's Monday morning. Yeah, goes down nice and smooth. Now you got me thinking. Although if this was tequila, I think the live stream would get pretty interesting pretty quickly. Gotta wait till at least noon before I start drinking. That being said, I don't usually drink too much anyways. I'll have some here and there. It's funny too, like the older you get where, you know, when you're younger, you know, if you get into drinking or whatever, you just drink it because you just want to get drunk or what have you. But when you're older, then it's like, I like the taste, you know, I just want to like experience the actual, you know, the flavor and everything. So it's interesting. Okay. So I think this is good. I mean, let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, everything's good. No, in Japan it's 8:30 p.m. It's 11:30 p.m. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, you know what? It's happy hour somewhere in the world. I'm probably gonna butcher your name here, but ready. Rutraj, ready? How's it going? Everything's going fantastic, my friend. How are you today? So what are you building? Couldn't find much in the description. Yeah, I probably could do a better job of writing better descriptions for these live streams. So we are building, we're just putting together form components for like newsletter subscription forms, you know, first name, last name, email address, and subscribe. And then we're just putting them into pixel pieces to put them part of our Webflow component library. So that's kind of what we're building today. But thank you for joining. And if there's anything that you want to see us build here on stream, let me know. Comments are always welcome. Or maybe even more specifically, what kind of components you'd love to see in what we're building. That's cool too. Okay, so we're going to go into, let's go into our CMS collection because we need to add these to our whole component list, right? Am I zoomed in here? Oh yeah, I had to reset. So that's why it changed the zoom. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Okay, so we want to add some new forms. So this one's going to be for form 7. Pick a category, it's forms, component sort order. So this is, I can't remember what it is. I think it's 1200s. I could talk a little bit about what this component sort order does, if that's of any interest. What is the end product going to be? Should have watched the older videos. Don't worry about it. There's 271 videos to watch. So just easier to just ask me to tell you, which is this. So this is pixelpieces.com, pixel with 2 eyes. So this is our new Webflow component and template library. I say templates. We don't have any templates yet, but we just have components. So you can basically you can log in, you can get started. You can either go forever free, or you can pay a one-time all access fee to get access to all of our components now and for forever, and of course all the new ones that we build. And yeah, so we're just building components for this library, because right now, well, let's log in. I didn't sign in yet. Oh man, I think I messed that one up. Oh no, we're good. Okay. So right now we have our form components. If you log in here, this is what you can see. These are how many that are available. So we're just building more of these. Just building more, and every day we're just going to be adding on to this library as we continue to build and continue to grow. So that's what we're working on. So link to demo page. Ooh, that's where I can never remember what it is. Link to demo page. I know if I go here, I'll be able to just kind of copy this. And that is our demo page. Yeah. And this thing here, you might be a little bit out of the loop in terms of what we're doing here in our collection. But this is just kind of how we bring in the different components to the actual application of pixel pieces right here. Description. This is a subscription form to capture first name, last name, and email address of user. Pretty straightforward. So we'll just create this one, and we'll get the image and the JSON code in a minute. So, right. Oh, before we create, let's just copy this. Create. That's great. Cool. Thank you. Any way that I can help, not expecting to be paid for this, just want to be part of this journey of building a product. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. Like, are you asking in terms of how you can actually help with development? I'll say to be 100% honest, the best way that I can have help right now is trying to get as many people as I can, friends and family and what have you, just actually use the components and then offer feedback and suggestions on how I can make them better. So that's the best feedback that I can get right now, and the best help that I can get right now is to have people help me with that part. So I appreciate that. Yeah, and anyway, yeah, that's exactly the way, you know. So that would be fantastic. And yeah, just like any honest, like super honest, real feedback, no matter how brutal it is, in terms of what can be done to make the best possible product. So that's what we're looking for here. Because at the end of the day, I want this to be like the best component library you can get anywhere in the world. So, I mean, that's the goal. That's the, oh, why am I going full screen there? That's the bar. Listen, that's the goal. The best component library. Yeah, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll check it out. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that, honestly. All right. So, Form 7. And curious, a question for you is kind of what brings you here? What made you find this live stream and find this channel? And like, are you a Webflow developer? Are you a designer? Are you trying to, like, are you a freelancer? Are you trying to get clients? What is it that you're looking for? What are you building in your, in your life? What are you working on? Sorry, there's like a million questions, but I'm always curious. Right, new component. Form 8. 1207. Product form 8. Know exactly how I call this for the, actually maybe I can go right here and just This is form 6. Yeah, horizontal. Or this is vertical. That's not horizontal. This is vertical. Vertical. Yeah. So I think I mixed that up because I put this is vertical. Yeah. Oops, where am I? Jumping around here. So I gotta fix that. Vertical subscribe form featuring input fields for first name, last name, and email address. Copy that. And create this one. And let's do horizontal. And let's fix these ones here. Vertical. You could probably just publish this one straight. And horizontal subscribe form with name and email address. All right, save. Oops, I could just publish this. It doesn't matter. Everything's going to be published soon anyways. Okay. Maybe I should put a survey in the description asking how they found the video. Yeah, it's interesting about how, like, when's the most appropriate time to ask for feedback for people and for users. Because I do think there's something to be said in terms about relationship building. If someone's super brand new, do they want to be bombarded with a bunch of questions versus people that have been watching me for a while? I kind of already know them. So yeah, it's an interesting point. But yeah. Yeah. Be interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Could think about that because it is really good to know how people kind of find. But I guess if people, even at least for now, when people make a comment, I just like, hey, what's going on? What brings you here? That could be a good place to start. By profession, I'm a researcher in AI and ML. What's ML stand for? Let me think. So artificial intelligence and what does ML stand for? I don't know. Anyway, just started off as a web developer, freelancer, working on 2 products at the moment. Just like the whole startup domain, want to connect with people. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you definitely came to the right place because that's what we're all about here. Just trying to start up and figure out how to build a successful business. And there's a few people that are doing that. Machine learning, I should have known that. Yes, of course. I was like, it's got to be something to do with computers and whatever in tech. Machine learning, I should have had that one. Started as a web developer. So that's interesting. So then obviously you're pretty, I guess you'd be pretty adept at like programming as well. So it shouldn't take you too much to pick up the whole development game. And is there a specific like industry that you're trying to look to have? Because I mean, development is a pretty big thing on its own, as you know. But yeah, because there's lots of different ways that you can kind of specialize, right? Just starting with MERN at the moment. MERN, is that? So I don't even know what that is, like being completely honest. So is that some type of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. MERN plus, like I don't programming. MERN stack. Oh, Mongo. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, I don't use that. Okay. Yeah. Somebody asked me putting it out there to work on a stack with React.js and like Firebase. Like I've used React, but I haven't used Firebase before. Not anything yet. Just need more connections with people like myself to understand what's going on or what's up. Yeah. Kevin, if Kevin's still on stream, he comes here quite often. He knows what's up. He's got a really good pulse on things. Because I tend to stick my head in the ground and just kind of get to work and try to build, but I'm trying to work on that aspect. And although I should say right now, I mean, I'm in an actual like startup accelerator here in Canada. I'm on the East Coast in Nova Scotia. So it's a group of a bunch of entrepreneurs and starters that have their own businesses, and we kind of get together and we discuss things and see how things are going. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's exactly the reason, because I don't know much about web development, nor do I know anyone personally, so it's great to just connect. Yeah, well, welcome, yeah. That is something I do know. I've been building websites and applications for about 20 years now, so yeah, know a little bit about that. So happy to answer any questions anytime, or at least I'll try to anyways. Okay, where are we? Components. Right, so now we need to get, okay, so now we have the components, they're built. Now we need to get the JSON objects for each of our components. So again, we're going to use this handy clipboard inspector that I did not create, but some amazing people did, which makes our life infinitely easier. So let's go down to form 7. And actually, let's just change this to point to the proper collection item, which is form 7. All right, yeah, horizontal subscribe form featuring input fields for first name, last name, and email address. Excellent. So we want to select the form here. Let's copy it completely, put it in the inspector and paste it. And let's grab the code. The only thing about this tool would be nice to have a button that just highlights the whole JSON object, and then we can just copy it. And we're going to go into our collection. We're going to go into components, form 7, and then we're just going to paste it in there. Pretty slick. And we'll do the same thing with form 8. Go up here, form 8. And again, copy. Oh, let's switch this as well. Form 7, form 8. Save. And did I copy this? I don't know, but now we did for sure. Home, go back and paste. And boom, copy that. Components, form 8. And paste. Okay, save that. Yeah, there's a message from Kevin. Yeah, find the active communities online, Reddit and X. Yeah, 100%, which is what I had that on my to-do list today, is to really start getting active on Twitter. But I want to do that. I'll join you there soon, Kevin. Definitely need to do that. Yeah, part of some Discord channels as well. It's been quite helpful. Yeah. And I think too, there's like lots of forums. Like I know I'm going to be joining like the Webflow forum as well too, and just trying to answer as many questions as I possibly can that come up for people that do ask questions in the forum. I think that's also a good way to kind of engage or even kind of give back in the community, which is kind of cool, which is something that I've never done. Right. Okay, so we have everything except we need to get images, right? So let's open up our Photoshop here for a second. Okay, so let's open up our component screenshot. All right, actually, okay. So we want to maintain consistency when we take these screenshots. So let's go to form 7. I always put this to 1200 pixels and I zoom in at 125 and I just go like this, take a little clip. and then I paste it in here. And do that. And then for these ones, whoops, bring it down to 90%. This is form 7. These aren't actually really good pictures to do. It's not the best, but I think it's good enough. But I think at some point I'm actually going to we'll probably actually, well, yeah, actually, I don't know. There's got to be a better way to take better screenshots of the components, but I think for now, this is just kind of quick and dirty, and I think it does well to get the point across of what the form looks like, or what the component looks like. Form 7. Okay. So how did I end up here? Were you always a freelancer in web development? And what is the motivation behind this? Story time. Yeah, okay, hang on a second. Let me finish this here, and then I can get talking a little bit about this. Yeah, short story. Let's see if I can talk a little bit while I'm kind of doing this, trying to get these images. So I originally started, I was what the hell was my term? I was a hydrogeological technician working at the University of Waterloo here in Ontario. And we had a bunch of weather stations. I was installing a bunch of weather stations, kind of programming these things that were collecting all kinds of meteorological data. And we were getting data. We had these modems attached to them. This was back in like 2005. So I had like these old school modems attached to them, and we were getting all this data in real time. And I was just like, it would be really cool if we can figure out a way to have this data and put it online. And so I took it upon myself. This time I had no clue at all, like how to make a website or anything like that. And then, so I just kind of took it upon myself to kind of learn and just try to figure it out. And what ended up happening was I ended up like loving it, because I've always been interested in art. I've always been more on the creative side. And like just the fact that I was like, I could just kind of think of something that I want to have on a website, and I could just kind of create it like artistically. I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I just kind of fell in love with it, and I just decided to just immerse myself and just learn as much as I possibly could about web design. So, I do all the web stuff like at work, and I kind of use all my work time to figure out how to build websites. And then I also spent my time afterwards building websites and just kind of practicing making websites because it was just so cool. So that's kind of how the trajectory of my career went, where I was just constantly like I would have jobs kind of in the academic space because by trade I have a degree in environmental sciences, biology and chemistry. But I always kind of bridged the gap between science and like web and technology. So every job that I would get, I would just do a lot of web presence for them. And then I kind of went on to the space where I was doing jobs in like different startups. Like I worked at Shopify, was probably one of the biggest profile jobs that I had. Just worked for a lot of local startups and stuff like that, just helping with web presence. And yeah, just kind of kept going. And then, yeah, I just kept going, kept learning, tried a bunch of different failed companies. I could talk a little bit more about those at some point. But then, yeah, and long story short, yeah, I've been doing freelance here and there, on and off, depending on whether I have a full-time job or not, because I have a family, I got 2 kids. I got to put food on the table, and sometimes freelance stuff wasn't enough to put food on the table. Then I moved out east, and then I was working at Dalhousie University as a data manager. I did that for three and a half years, something like that, and decided that's enough's enough. I need to build something that's going to be for me, that I can grow. And then so I started my own creative consulting agency called Pixel, and specializing in web design and web development. And been going on for that, and then decided to kind of branch off into this because I was building websites for clients, and I was like, I need a way to not have to reinvent the wheel every time I build websites for clients. And then I looked at all the other component libraries that are out there, and they're like, it's just not quite for me, because I like to really be in control of what I'm building. So I'm like, I'm just going to build my own. And then here we are, basically. So I don't know. That's long story short, or short story long. I don't know. You're not breaking my flow. Nah, this is what this is all about. It's just kind of talking and working at the same time. So happy to talk and converse. Right. I think we got all our images. Yeah, we do. Okay. So yeah, so definitely like everything that I've learned about web stuff, it's all kind of self-taught. So it's just always been, I didn't go to school. Actually, I was talking to a few professors, and I was actually going to do a PhD in human-computer interaction, because I was really fascinated with how humans interact with technology. I thought that was really, really cool, because I'm really interested in like the usability of sites. So like not usability per se of like, whether things are accessible or not, but just like how people actually interact with an application. What makes an application good? What gives a good user experience? All that kind of stuff was really kind of fascinating to me. But then I decided that, I don't want to do school anymore. So yeah. But of course, because I like it, I just kind of read up on it and, try to work and build things. So yeah. What am I doing now? Because now I'm getting lost. All right, here we are. Learning our components. Right, thumbnails. We want to get these images going. Okay, so let's throw this here. Let's go into components. Form 7. I'm just going to drag this in here. All right, we're going to save that. And then we're going to form 8. I'm going to drag this in here and save that. So I think that's all that we need. Let's take a quick look here at our components. Or actually, we need to look at our component categories, and let's go to forms. Or form, and we have 7 and 8 right here, so they're looking pretty good. And if we go to it's not there at all. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's publish. Couple other things we forgot. We need to go to component categories, and we need to update the number of components here. So this is 8. Again, we can do this. We can automate this if we wanted to, but it's not too big a deal. I don't mind just doing it manually for now, because the amount of time it's going to take to automate it, actually, it's not going to be that much time, but I don't want to worry about that right now. And components, the number of components, we're at 63. So let's look at statistics, and number of components, 63. All right, save that as well. And let's publish. No, that's cool. Kind of understand your motive, because even I just felt that working on models was just half the job done, or half done job. Wanted people to use it and be able to understand it. So just trying out web development. That's really cool. And again, too, like the web development too, there's so much different space to explore in terms of figuring out kind of what you want to actually like kind of focus or specialize in. But I guess obviously, like you're saying, you're just kind of new to the whole game, so it's just kind of seeing what's out there and kind of seeing what catches your eye and catches your attention. Because for me, I'm definitely more of the front end stuff. Like if I was to go and build a full on application, having to use back end code, it would take me way too much time, because I'm not that good of a developer in terms of like writing strict like back end code. So the framework that I'm probably the most familiar with is Ruby on Rails, and using Ruby. Like I could probably get away with doing something like that, but it would take me a long time, because a lot of the apps that I built were on Rails. And I'll say, I can just show you this real quick here. So this is an app that I built called Data Shift, which allows people, again, this is a whole thing of my educational space and going in science, where you have a bunch of researchers that have sensors deployed all over the place, and they usually call in and get that data in. And what DataShift allows you to do is you can connect with those data sources and bring it all into one place so you can visualize all that data in real time. So as new data comes in, it updates the data files, and then it updates this, and then you can have your nice dashboard to organize all your raw data. And it's really that bridge of you have raw data coming in, you have all this information, and you don't really know how to analyze it, but if you have something where a sensor gets to past a certain level, the application, this will alert you. You can set up your different alerts and triggers depending on what value your sensors are reading. So for example, when I was working a lot in the environmental space, if the water level was rising to a certain point, and if it rises very quickly, you want to get notification so that you can go out to the field and send people out to do some research or to get some samples or whatever, because there's some kind of event that you want to make sure you capture. And most of the time you miss it, but if you use something like this, you can capture it. Anyway, so this was written in Rails, and I couldn't do this all by myself. I have a partner. There's actually 3 of us that are kind of all co-founders in this. But this was built on Ruby on Rails. And it's just like was a super fun project to work on. And I want to bring this back to, we haven't done anything for this in years, but this is such a good idea. But I haven't done much to try to get it to work in terms of getting market penetration. So yeah, anyways, just a little bit more side of one of my, I guess you could call this a failed application, because, I haven't been able to get it to where it needs to be. Yeah. So, we should check to make sure that everything went live. A quick question: are you still looking for clients in your area? If so, how do you approach them? So that is a really good question. So in terms of getting clients for building actual websites, right now I'm not looking for any clients at all, because I'm really trying to focus on building pixel pieces and just building a product. Because at the end of the day, having a product is much more scalable than having an agency, for the most part. Because I know if pixel pieces can do well, say I get a new person every single day, that's $250 a day just rolling in, and I don't have to do any work, quote unquote, right? So that's what I'm kind of focused on. So when I have enough savings for now that I don't have to worry about getting new clients. That being said, clients still kind of come to me. So I just took on a client a couple of weeks ago. I think I can't remember exactly how much it was. It wasn't that much, but it was like a $7,000 contract, Canadian. So I took that in. And then, a few weeks ago, I put in a bid, for another contract. The quote was between 30 and 60,000. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. And if they say no, it's like no sweat off my back, because I don't need the money and I don't want to take the time away from building pixel pieces. So no, I'm not still actively looking for clients. But if I was actively looking for clients, I would look at the type of clients that I would want to target, like what niche I was looking for. I would probably go on Google and look at all the sites in my area. Like say I was looking at building websites for coffee shops. I would look at all the people that are on Google reviews, and look for all of them that don't have a website. And then I would even use something like, if I have these templates set up, say I had these templates set up, I would use my templates. I would take my logo or their logo, put it on one of the templates, and just send them an email that says, hey, listen, I noticed that you don't have a website. I kind of put this one together. It's something like this that I can create for you. Are you interested? Let me know. And just mass send out all those emails to all those people. And you'll see like the clients will start to flow for that. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but I think that would be a really, really good strategy, especially if you're just starting out and you're not well established, where people are just kind of coming to you. So that's kind of the first thing that I would tackle. Yeah. So you built it and I went till the end. That's what matters, I guess. Oh, in terms of DataShift, yeah. I still think it's a really viable product, because I've been working in the academic space for again, on and off since 2014, 2015. I'm trying to think of when I graduated. I graduated in 2013 with my master's. Anyways, on and off for that time. And this is still a tool that they desperately need, but it's so slow to adopt and so slow to change. It's just very difficult. It's difficult to get a foothold in academics, and it's very difficult to get a foothold in governments. because everything moves so slow, and the procurement process is also really, really slow. So I want to take another shot at it, knowing what I know now. But again, I need to figure out this one first. Off-topic question: can you recommend a website where I can look for a house or land to buy in Canada? Yeah, look at. It's funny. You want to come to Canada, and it's like I want to move to Mexico, or Panama. I want to go to. Yeah, I want to get out of Canada. Anyways, if you go to, I think it's MLS.ca. Realtor. Yeah, it's realtor.ca. Realtor.ca. So this is the site you go to if you want to look at buying a house. This is like pretty much where everyone goes in Canada. So, yeah, head here and then look at the prices of houses and just like die because it's so expensive. It's ridiculous. So yeah, realtor.ca. Let me put that in. I'll put that in the chat there. Realtor.ca. Okay. Hang on. Before let's check this thing because I published this live. So let's just make sure everything is actually good, so no one's on the site being like, "Hey, things are broken." Okay. So we have our components. Let's view this. Yeah, everything looks good. Let's make sure we can copy it. Let's delete that and let's paste it in here. Make sure it's working. Okay, that pasted, no problem. And let's go back here. Let's work on this full page. Let's go copy here. Let's make sure it works on both things. And cut and paste. Oop, no. I need to get out of this preview mode. And let's paste. Great. It renamed some of these things because, again, I didn't clear out all the old styles. But yeah, everything's working. Everything's looking good. Perfect. So that's good. Yeah, now we're up to 63 components. Sorry, get rid of those comments. So I think CMS is a great use for this that I think about often. Make a coffee shop CMS template and then just add new items for each proposal, which would allow multiple existing templates. Yeah, 100%. I've been hearing a lot of people on YouTube kind of talk about this kind of business model about kind of sending off templates, and it's people have a good success with it. And I know a couple of people that have done stuff like this too that have some good success. But there's a limit in terms of how much these people are going to be willing to pay for those types of services. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. But it could also be that you want to upsell like subscription services for these people, like whether it's maintenance or SEO or stuff like that. But yeah, having templates that are ready to go, it's going to be amazing. And that's what I want to do with Pixel Pieces and the whole template section is have these predefined templates that are built for specific niches. So people can, you buy one and then you have it for, you have it for life or whatever the case may be. And then you could just make little tweaks to it and just even have different tweaks to the same template. Yeah. So, it's, I got to invent, somebody invents some kind of machine where I could have more hours in the day. That would be fantastic. I guess it's even having more people, but I can't afford to hire somebody to help me out at this stage of the game. But anyways, yeah, very good. Thank you very much. And yes, we must have an escape plan for the direction my country is taking. Yeah, so we should have a talk offline to see what's going on, because I don't know do you know Andrew Henderson from the Nomad Capitalist? He's a big enough channel. He has almost like 1 million subscribers, and he's the go where you're treated best guy. And he mentions that Mexico is kind of on the up and up in terms of having your passport is getting a whole lot better. But that being said, I don't know about the politics too and what's happening in Mexico, if they're going more and more socialist or what have you. So, which could be definitely a problem, right? So maybe we should just go down to Argentina. But yeah, I'd definitely love to know more. And maybe, we should have a conversation offline. So why are people leaving Canada so badly? It's going to be different for everybody depending on what what their situation is like. So the most important thing, well, I can't even say this. I can't speak for everybody, but I'll say, I'll talk briefly about specific factors. So number one, cost of living. It is very expensive. There are a lot of people that are living below the poverty line. When you have an average rent price being over like 2,100 Canadian for just rent or mortgage alone, it's real. And then your average salary, people are making like just a little bit more than that. How are you supposed to make a living? Grocery stores. Like I have a family of 4, and we're pretty, we don't go crazy in terms of we shop at the cheapest stores. I do like to get lots of meats and stuff like that, but easily $1,000 to $1,200 a month just on food. So you look at food and then your rent, then a lot of people are up to $3,000, $4,000. And again, and making $4,000 after tax, you're looking at close to like a $90,000 salary job. And again, the average, I don't know what the average wage here in Canada, but it can't be anywhere over $50,000 Canadian, right? So how can you can't get ahead. And then trying to buy a home, the average house price in Canada is almost $900,000. It's like $850,000, which is so far beyond what any reasonable person could afford. It's unaffordable. You would have to work, generally you have to put a 20% down payment. So you would have to work. I don't know how long you'd have to work for to be able to save up 20% of $80,000, like $200,000, like 108. I don't know. It's a ridiculous amount of money you would have, and then your mortgage would be so high. Like it's so damn expensive. So that's part of it. Crime is going up. Crime is becoming a huge thing. There's so many homeless people that are around, not through faults of their own, but there's like tent cities kind of everywhere. And then you could talk about politics, whether you like it or not. I mean, the stuff that's happening here in Canada, we have a whole lot more censorship. We had probably the top 3 worst countries in terms of lockdowns and authoritarian style stuff happen during the pandemic. So, some Quebec, province had curfew where you couldn't even go outside of your house past 8:00. Like you'd have to stay locked in. So there's lots of stuff, but to each their own, whatever. I'm a guy, I just want to be able to do my own thing. Don't tell me what to do. I want to live my life. And taxes here are insane. It's like 50% gone almost of your paycheck. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Maybe about 35% is gone, but then you're paying 15% tax on the stuff that you buy. And then you got property tax. And then there's other taxes as well too. So like after you do get paid and whatever, half of your stuff is gone. It's gone. And then the services are horrible. You think Canada has good healthcare? Our healthcare system is garbage. Like it is good luck getting, people get screened for types of cancer and whatever. They're on the wait list for 2 years. It's crazy. Or you need some kind of surgery. 2-3 years wait list. It's crazy. We have one of the world's worst healthcare. Anyways, I'm rambling on here about politics stuff here, but so that's one of the reasons why some of the reasons people are trying to get out of here. So sorry, let me roll through here. Do I have okay? Why are you looking to hire? Beneficial agreements can always be reached. We all have skill sets that we can exchange. That's definitely another way to look at it. And then I think it's really going to depend on how things go as a business and kind of how, two people can come together, make an agreement that'll be mutually beneficial. It doesn't necessarily have to be hiring for sure, 100%. And how do you pay for transportation? So transportation. So we have just one car, good luck affording more than one car here. And we just, it's just gas and insurance. So our insurance costs, I have one of the lowest insurance you can get. And it's about, I think I pay about $1,400 or $1,500 a year on insurance, which you have to have. And gas, we don't drive very much because I don't work. But when I was driving into work every day, you'd have to fill up the car pretty much once a week. And you'd be looking at, to fill up the car, if the cost of gas now, probably about $130 a fill up a week. So you're paying about $500 Canadian a month on gas. And that's me. That's a low thing. Some other people, they're paying like $800 easy a month just on gas. And that's just on gas, let alone insurance and all that kind of stuff. DJ Enox, tune in from Nairobi, Kenya. Awesome. Welcome. Thumbs up. Sorry, I don't have the right display here, but welcome aboard. Nice to see you here. A lot of Americans are retiring Southeast Asian countries. Malaysia is also a great place for this. I feel real estate is super cheap there. You bring up Malaysia, and we were actually going to, if everything would have aligned right in the world, we would be in Malaysia literally right now. But just as things happened, it didn't end up working out. But yeah, everything that I've heard about Malaysia is super awesome. Great city, great people, great food, and yeah, an actual affordable cost of living. So I've been looking at certain properties. I was looking at properties in Malaysia, and as a foreigner, you can actually buy property in Malaysia. And oh my God, we're totally off topic here in terms of what we're building. This is fantastic. But yeah, I was looking at properties, and it's just like actually affordable. Like you can spend, $150,000 US and get a decent place to live, which is really cool. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think it's really like cost of living is just what's really making a lot of people hurt. And it's really frustrating because, the rich people, like if you're rich, I have no problems with people being rich, like absolutely, you worked hard, you got your money, fantastic. There's no problems with that at all. But once you have money, it's so easy to make money, like even if you just invest in the S&P, which is like skyrocketing, it's like, yeah, of course you have money to do that. No problem. But people that are poor and middle class, it's like, they're being taxed more and more, especially here in Canada, where we're taxed more because the government is spending more and you're not getting services, and people are leaving. Like rich people are leaving Canada. Like that's the problem. Rich people are like, I'm not paying 50% taxes. Like the hell with that bullshit. And they leave and they take their money with them. And then all that's left is to keep taxing the poor or the middle class. And then what are you going to do? And then they can't, then they're just poor. Then and so like, you can't get ahead. And if you're living in a spot where you can't get ahead, that's when like a whole population of people just become apathetic to like everything and to life. And it's like, well, what's the point of me even trying? Because I get nothing. Yeah. It's just sad. And it's not just Canada. It's kind of everywhere around the world. And like for me, I think about like the overall thing of one of the things that I'm doing is like, I want to be able to create a job for myself and to create my own business and my own money, my own source of income. So I don't have to worry about the government. I don't have to worry about getting a job. I don't need to worry about an employer or whatever. I want to be responsible for myself. I want to be responsible for taking care of my family and making sure that we can have the best life possible. And I think a lot of people, it's my hope that a lot of people can start to think that way and start to create their own value and create their own businesses so that they can be in charge of their own lives. So they're not having to be supported by anybody else. That's why I love entrepreneurship, or just thinking about how you can develop your own skills to provide value to, it's going to sound cheesy, to your fellow man, right? Because that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's exchanging value between one another and helping everyone help lift each other up, right? Instead of people just trying to take from other people. So that's what the grand scheme of things, I'm hoping that I could, at least maybe, inspire people to try to do things on their own and make their own things and make their own money and be responsible for their own success and happiness, right? So I don't know. It's complicated. I know it's not easy, but anyways, yeah. Anyways, time for Doom to start his own podcast. You talk and explain things really well. Another startup idea. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But that being said, I will say, I'll even show you here. Me having a podcast is not something new. So there's my wife and I. We started this, and we kind of put this on hold as well too, because we're focusing on other things. But yeah, this is kind of one of the podcasts that we had. So yeah. So if you are interested in checking this out, this is one where I think it was basically like every week, Andrea would read a specific book about somebody that would like be very inspiring. And then we kind of talk about and be like, oh yeah, what did they do or whatever? And, how could we maybe incorporate some of that stuff into our lives, So yeah, so maybe a little bit ahead of you there on that one. But yeah, starting another I'd love to. I feel podcasting is really weird though, because I feel like it's, I don't want to say the market is saturated, but, back in the day, if you started one, 10, 15 years ago, you just climb up to number one because there's nobody there. But I feel like the media, like content creation space is kind of primed right now for the new thing, the new podcasting thing. Because a lot of the times podcasts, I mean, they're good. I love listening to them, but it's like, I feel like it's recycled stuff where the same people are talking to the same people. Yeah. But that being said, I just love having discussions with people too, which is really cool. Okay, come to Mexico and cry at the cost of properties in areas where it is safe and nice to live. Is it the same thing? So I imagine it's the same thing anywhere. So the nice areas are super expensive as well in Mexico, which is, I think, what you're saying there, Rolando. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like finding a place where it's safe and nice to live. I mean, that's what everybody wants. But the question is why are places that are more affordable, why are they not safe to live? Why are people resorting to crime and violence, right? That's the question that I think we as a society kind of need to ask. Those are good questions. Anyways, if I would have seen 1 million subs here, I definitely would have accepted it by the way you talk. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're almost at 400. I think I said that at the beginning of the episode. We're getting close to 400. So I appreciate that. With that being said, my first venture, maybe I could talk really quickly about my first kind of venture. Sam, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing today? Niche podcasts are doing well. Yeah, no, they absolutely are doing well, for sure. I think that's the problem with a lot of people come at with podcasting. Or sorry, that sentence didn't make much sense. A problem a lot of people have is they try to go too broad. They're like, I'm going to be Joe Rogan and I'm just going to talk to really cool people. Yeah, okay, well, there's already a lot of Joe Rogan people out there that are talking to a lot of cool stuff. So it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to distinguish yourself from a Joe Rogan, right? So, but yeah, if you niche down and say like, you know what, I'm going to, like, even for me, one thing I was thinking about is I'm going to niche down and start talking to local entrepreneurs here in Halifax region that are interested in whatever, XYZ. And therefore, I could become the guy, at least in Halifax, which is the place where people go to listen to what people are kind of up to in the local scene, right? So that's definitely the podcast that I would start. I should probably even do this. I should set it up, back here, whatever, little podcast studio, and have people in and just talk about what they're working on, what they're building on, what they're working on in the community. So that way people in Halifax would know where to come to. And Joe Rogan's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to compete with me on that level. And then I could grow an audience for here. I mean, Halifax, yeah, it's not big, but I mean, what do we got? Like, I don't even know what the population is here. A few 100,000 people, and you go from there. And then you can start to branch off as people get to know you. It's like, okay, well, now I'm going to expand to the East Coast or maybe all of Canada or whatever. So yeah, niche podcast can definitely do really well. So thanks, Sam. And now I'm thinking about another little thing that I would want to do. And that actually would tie in pretty nicely, I think, to Pixel Pieces in this live stream of just talking to local entrepreneurs. Because then we're just getting a flavor of, it's here locally to Halifax, but at the end of the day, it's still a overall just discussion on entrepreneurship and the struggles that people have with building a business, whether you're building a business here in Canada or you're in Africa or Mexico or wherever the case you might be. There's kind of the same struggles. So yeah, food for thought. I guess the poor are too busy working to earn a living, and the powerful are not checked enough. Also, it's not safe to go against the powerful because nobody cares. Yeah, that's an interesting comment. I think people do care, but I think people get so apathetic that they feel that they can't even do anything. Because like I want to do something, but I can't because who's listening or no one cares and everything's corrupt. And like, what am I going to do? Yeah, and it's definitely not safe to go. I mean, if you're a real big person, you go, I mean, just, yeah. I don't even want to go too far there. Like, I don't even know what, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people are. They're just trying to earn a living. You got people working 2-3 jobs, just trying to put food on the table. Yeah, here in Mexico, people have an average income of less than 7,000 Canadian per year. That's the reason. Yeah. Yeah, like, well, of course you're going to turn to crime or whatever, because like you can't live off that, you know. Like countries should try to strive to provide the best for all of their citizens, not just for the few. But it's, you know, I don't know. Ugh. It's just really too bad that the people that are in power don't actually, you know, work for the people. Like they're supposed to work for the people. Like a lot of these problems, I don't think that they're too difficult to solve. But it's just getting people that are willing to do the right thing for the people. But doing the right thing doesn't get you elected. Doesn't get you those campaign dollars. Doesn't get you, yeah. Okay, well, this was an interesting episode. I appreciate discussions, guys. This is really good. But anyways, we did get a couple components done. So we're at 63. We'll keep working away. What should we work on tomorrow? We need to, I think, okay, we only have one accordion, but this one's a little bit tricky with the accordions because we want to make sure that they work. We want to make sure that they're accessible. And we might want to look at the FinSuite accordion, which what they have. Because there's some issues, I think, with, they updated their website. Ah, cool. Anyways, products, right? Webflow apps. Oh, this is really cool. I got to get this because they don't, yeah. Why does Webflow not have tables? That's crazy. I got to take a look at these guys. Anyways, they have some stuff for accordions as well too. So we have to take a look at that. So that one might be, where we're looking at. That one might be on the back burner. But I think maybe tomorrow we can work on creating some more benefit components as well as some more review components. I have subscribed for him here. I didn't notice that. Oh, okay. Well, I need to get rid of that one because that just goes with forms. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll look at benefits, reviews, and testimonials. We'll make a bunch of those. Those are some big things that are pretty important on websites. So we'll build those. We'll start building those ones tomorrow. That'll be good to start working on. When you were talking about Canada's health system, I remembered when here in Mexico we had an excellent healthcare system. That's no longer the case. Yeah, I could say the same thing here in Canada. Like there was a time. Just unfortunately, that's not the time. But I think the thing is, I think a lot of people here in Canada that talk about Mexico is that on a Canadian salary, that maybe here in Canada is not good, but I guess even for me, if I went into, like you're saying, the nicer areas in Mexico, maybe with my salary, I could actually afford to live in the nicer areas. So that's why maybe it would seem that it would be better for me to go there than to stay here. But yeah, it's too bad. Características components, which are features. Yes, features would be cool. So like features, yeah, those are the ones where you're featuring a product where it's got like an image and then feature 1, feature 2, or whatever. I mean, there's lots of different ways. Yeah, we actually don't even have a section for features, but we do need one. We do need one. Components. Do we have that here? Let's actually put this in here. Create a features. Oh, so you can't even really see. There we go. Create a features component section. Yeah, we need that. Let's try to see how far we can do this in. We got. Let's give us a week, maybe over the weekend, maybe a week and a half. Yeah, so that's it's not so much a feature. It's more of like actual components. Okay. Okay, we'll do that. That is on the list. Okay. So, oh my goodness, I think this video has 5 likes. I think that's the most likes that I've had, like on a stream, like while it was live. So thank you everyone. Much appreciated. Okay, so great discussion. Not as much Webflow work, but that's okay. Can I create a dynamic blog in Webflow? When you say dynamic blog, do you just mean a blog where you can just have like new news posts and what have you? Then if that's the case, you can. I'll better subscribe. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, you can, absolutely. So like if you look at my sharing screen, like if you look at this site is built in Webflow. And every time there's a new podcast, I would just create a new blog post. Yeah, so it's literally just like WordPress or any other kind of blogging platform. The only thing that I will say is that the interface of actually creating a blog post, it's not nice like Webflow. It's not nice like Ghost. It's literally like this, right? Like you create your own structure, which is I guess what's nice. You create your own structure for what you want to have like in your blog post, like this. Well, here we go. Like here's the blog post for Pixel Pieces. So when you want to write a new blog post, you got to come here and then like this is the post body. So this editor is like it's garbage, right? Like this is not a nice editor to create content. So that's where Webflow really lacks. Is the editor is just horrible. But of course, WordPress, much nicer. Ghost, even better. But you can actually make a dynamic blog. So if that's what you mean, I think that's what you mean by just being able to have new blog posts. If that's not what you mean, let me know, and then I'll just correct that here real quick. But yeah, okay. So, right. So I went a little bit over time here because I do need to leave at 11:30. I don't need to because obviously I'm still here, but I should leave. Right. Yeah, that's it. No more comments coming in. I don't see any more comments coming in, which is fantastic. Okay, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, paying attention. Again, everyone, Kevin, Rolando, Sam, Rutaraj, if I'm pronouncing that okay, and the DJ. What was that name? I can't. Where's DJ Enox from Kenya? Yeah, welcome. So thank you everyone for the comments. Super awesome. And yeah, have yourself a fantastic day. And of course, we'll be back here again tomorrow for a new stream. I'm not sure exactly what time. I know I'm busy in the morning, so probably more towards the afternoon, like 1 p.m. or something like that. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Great streaming, yeah. And well, thanks for tuning in. All right, guys. Until tomorrow, have a good one, and we'll see you then.